my name is Dave Gaffner. I'm air traffic controller at Bowman Tower, Louisville, Kentucky. And the role of air traffic control in aviation, we prevent collisions. We keep airplanes from hitting other airplanes. It's really that simple, and it's also so much more. But the heart of the job is preventing collisions between aircraft. A typical day on the job for a controller, we work rotating shifts. So we may show up in the morning, we may show up in the evening. We get to work. We walk upstairs here at Bowman, and the first thing we do typically is check our weather briefing and learn about any items that may have changed overnight with the airspace, things that we want to familiarize ourselves with, pre-duty briefing. Go upstairs into the tower, and then we take a control position from the guy who we're relieving. The person who's getting off position, we may plug in and take a briefing, find out what's happening in the airspace. That person then gives us the control position. It's about an 8-hour day typically. Sometimes there's overtime, but we switch between positions. Local, what you guys call tower in aviation. We work local, we work ground, we work flight data. We'll rotate between those different jobs. We will work a certain amount of time. We'll also take a break. And we do that for 8 hours, and then we go home. When there's a lot of traffic, it can get pretty intense. And so there are rules about how long we can spend on position. And it's typically almost always not more than 2 hours on position. Management has to give us a break. So we'll work, we'll take a break for a certain amount of time. And at that point, may go down, have a half hour, 45 minutes, something like that, to just relax, unwind, recharge. Some people have hobbies, do things, totally not related to aviation. We all have different interests. We go downstairs, recharge our batteries, relax a little bit, maybe get something to eat, and then back upstairs and maybe work a different position, and back to work. This job is awesome. This job, when you're done with all the training and all that, you show up to work. We work airplanes, we look out the window. We have a lot of fun doing this job. It is amazing. I've never, and I mean this, I've never had a bad day at work where I did not want to be at work. It's always fun, engaging, challenging. We get to look out the window for a living, at airplanes, flying around. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. It's exciting. Every day is different. Every situation is different. Every aircraft, every flight crew is different. So this job, I truly love it, and it's a lot of fun each day. The skills a person needs to be a good controller, you have to have a good ear to pick up the transmissions, what aircraft are saying to you, what pilots are saying to you, and what may be indicated by their tone of voice. Very subtle things. A person may be slightly distressed or questioning what you say, and that you pick up on that, and that lets you know some information that is more than just what they say, it's how they said it. You got to be able to hear that. You need to be able to retain a certain amount of technical knowledge in your head, remembering aircraft types, performance characteristics, airspace dimensions, limitations, rules of airspace, and procedures. You need to be able to get very busy occasionally and still be able to perform. You do one thing, you move on to the next, you move on to the next. We're not computers, we're not any different than anybody else, but we just get used to being very busy. And you got to be comfortable sometimes. There's 12 things I need to be doing. I'm going to focus on this one. I'm not going to get stressed out. I'm going to focus on the next one. I'm going to get that done and move on to the next one. But at its core, I am up in the tower looking out the window and communicating with airplanes on the radio. But the radios are a big piece of gear that is quite a few frequencies that needs to be powerful, needs to work, needs to be clear. That requires a lot of maintenance to keep that stuff working. That is sort of critical to our mission. So there's a lot of people that maintain that gear for us, so that when I hit the button and make a transmission, I know that that's going to go out into the air and be clear and understandable to the pilots, because that is our only real tool. My voice is the only thing I can really send to a pilot to try to maybe take two aircraft and peel them apart and separate them. I can't physically reach out and grab these airplanes and put them where I want them to be. I can only use my voice and talk to a pilot. So me getting my voice out there is very important. My advice to a person considering this as a job, I would definitely recommend it because I love it. I think it's a great job. It's not for everybody, but the only way to find out is to try and apply to the government, be an air traffic controller, go to a facility. Air traffic facilities, we are public employees, and we serve the flying public. We serve the taxpayers. We are always happy to have the public visit our facilities, call us up, come visit the facility, come upstairs, see what we do, and talk to controllers and find out what the job is like. Take a look at it for yourself, see if it's a good fit for you. But they need controllers. I know that the FAA is short-staffed right now. It's a challenge for everybody. So if you're considering it, I would definitely recommend that a person try this line of work. Watching a student pilot complete their first solo. Those people are nervous in the service. They just did something that is amazing. They just went through all this training and all these hours of flights, and now they just soloed in a Cessna or Cherokee or something. They land, you can hear the relief in their voice, and we're doing our best to keep them calm and encourage them, tell them nice job, watching their landings and helping this person on their path. They land, and you see their, we look out the window and we see their instructor come up, and that shirt tail gets cut. And you see that person smiling, maybe their parents are there taking pictures. That's a great moment. I love that. That's not fireworks or anything. That's just a small, quiet, beautiful moment of somebody sort of reaching their dream. And we get to play a small part in helping them get there. So I have a lot of happy memories of students making it through training. It's a good thing. What I would tell a student pilot who's scared of us, scared of talking to ATC, don't be afraid of us. We are human beings. We're people just like you. And at the end of the day, don't let all this equipment fool you. All these procedures, all these radios and the phonetic alphabet, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, numbers, complexity. We are people talking to people on the radio. And my goal is to always keep it human. And I am talking to a student pilot. I am going to take care of you as a person who cares about another person. I want you to get home safe. I want everybody to get home safe. And never be afraid of us. Think that you can't ask us a question or ask for clarification. We are not robots, and we're not cops, and we're not computers. We are people at the other end of that radio frequency, and we are out there trying to take care of you. And so yeah, you don't need to be scared of us. Some of us are goofballs like you. It's all good. When I'm upstairs, I rely on the people next to me for everything. No one person is a hero. We are all in it together, and you may hear a voice on the radio that does something impressive, but guaranteed that person is getting help from behind. Somebody helped them get some weather information or clued them in to look at something that they need to see. And yeah, it's a team effort for sure. We are upstairs in 100 feet up in the air, looking out a glass window, watching airplanes fly around. And some days I feel like a kid driving remote control planes right past me. Turn left, turn right, climb, descend. It is so much fun. I mean, if you love airplanes, this job sometimes just makes you feel like a kid. It's pure joy. Another aspect of the teamwork part of this job is we are union controllers for the most part. This workforce is represented by a union called NATCA. That union collaborates with the FAA in every way, every aspect of our job. We enjoy the benefits of a contract that was the result of a lot of collaboration between the union and management. We're all on the same side, but you get this on paper. Our job is protected. The work, the benefits, the pay, the working conditions, career progression, everything is covered in a document like this that is the result of a lot of negotiation and a lot of protections so that people in this job can rely on some very quality protections. A person does not have to be a college graduate, not even close. Many people I've worked with went to high school only, and I think that's a requirement, high school or diploma, some amount of work experience in whatever random job, and then they get into the FAA. but by no means do you have to be a college grad. The career path for a new controller typically is to come in off the street and go to the academy at Oklahoma City, where the FAA trains a person in air traffic basics. Then that person may be routed to a specific facility out there in the country, where they then start on the job training for that specific facility. A lot of other people are also routed in out of the military. Plenty of Air Force, Army, Navy controllers that I've worked with. So they get their training in the military and then go directly to facilities. And some people go through a college program as well that trains them on the basics, and then they get into the agency. A few different paths, but what we all have in common is that we get to the facility of our choice and start training. And we are not certified controllers until we make it successfully through that training. If I could give myself some advice back in the past, I would have told myself, when the training was tough, when I was getting stressed out, just remember, relax and go with the flow. That's advice that I give to my own trainees, and I train a lot of people, new controllers, and it's something I always tell them. Just relax and go with the flow. If someone wants to get into this line of work in the US, you want to be an FAA controller, the website is faa.gov/b-ATC.